God, this slip bitch bad, no shit bag, no shit Barbie doll. Swear I move too fast, you just might crash. You know I ain't driving slow. She ain't got nothing but ass, nothing but class. You know I ain't leaving alone.
So guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we'll be talking about my character and his role in the story and his background. This is like a lore drop, as they call it. So before I get into the story, I would like to mention that if you would like to join this, please join the Discord. Link will be in the description. Go check out Mace's part of it. Go check out 2AM Rex's part of this. And yeah, this is episode 1, season 1. More episodes will be on the way shortly after this. Like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the video. He grew up in an environment where instability was normal. His father was frequently in and out of jail, leaving him to navigate mostly on his own. He spent his early years in a neighborhood shaped by heavy street influence, where different groups controlled nearby blocks and tensions was always present. Just beneath everyday life, most of the people he considered his friends were tied to one side of that environment. And over time, he drifted in that same direction. After the loss of his two close friends, his involvement deepened and became more connected to the lifestyle around him, one built by reputation, loyalty, and survival rather than long-term stability or safety. Eventually, a personal conflict with someone he had once called his friend escalated. What began as an argument turned into a physical confrontation after the situation spiraled further out of control. A violent incident followed that permanently altered both of their lives and intensified an already growing tension between the circles. From that point on, the conflict was no longer just personal. It became part of a large circle of relation in the background of the community. Retaliation in the background of the community. In the middle of everything, he and others around him began turning towards music. What started as a expression quickly became something bigger, turning lived experiences, pain, and ambition into songs that began gaining attention. As their music started to circulate, they began to pop, finding their recognition outside of the environment they came from and showing signs of a possible way out. However, the streets eventually caught back up with him. The same life he had been moving through for years led to serious legal consequences, and he was later arrested and charged in connection with an attempted murder case in 2026. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison, marking a major turning point in his life and effectively pausing the momentum he had began building in music. What started as a rise through local attention and music success ultimately became a story interrupted by consequences of violence and the long-term reach of the environment he came from. After serving his time, he eventually returned to the outside world years later. The transition back wasn't easy. Everything around him changed, but the mindset he carried from before never fully left. He came back into the environment where stability was hard to find, and the same influencers that existed before were still present in different forms. Struggling to adjust, he fell into heavy substance use, what started as an occasional coping, slowly developed into a dependence. He began relying on weed, lean, and prescription pills like Percocets as a way to numb the mental weight of everything he had experienced, the jail, the violence, from his past. The loss of opportunities that once looked promising, instead of helping him move forward, the substance made it harder to stay focused. His motivation and discipline and constant started to decline, and his lifestyle returned to being unstable. Friends and people around him noticed the change had become more detached and caught between trying to rebuild and slipping back into old patterns. Even with even with all that, music was still in the background of his life. The same thing that once gave him momentum and attention remained a possible outlet, but now it existed alongside a deeper personal struggle and the consequences of everything he had been through. And if you like the video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to become a actor, please join the Discord. You'll be able to get inside of the interviews, hosting interviews until June 15th. Discord will be in the description. And without further ado, peace out.